Hello once again. Welcome back. It's now being number 86, where now I've gotten over my anger at palettes and continued on with this project. Fifth view. So I didn't get to the GIF yet, but I got it working. Now it's not. This is not very generalized or anything. Basically, I've invented different structs and different messages for each struct. So there's no real generality to this invoke or anything, because somehow it has to tie in with the window, and I just wanted to get something working. So this works so far. And here's the program as it is, as it would run DOS. Okay, so we start running. And this is what you would see. Press any key to begin to go to mode 13. Alright. And when I press that key, now our mode has changed. We're here. So it's switched video modes to mode 13, and then go to X, Y, 5, and 15 pixels down and 5 pixels across, and type out this text in that mode. And Getch still works because, you know, in terms of DOS, there's still standard in, standard out. It's still there. Our console's still there. Now, press any key to view the PCX file. Now, this is going to be slow. Press the key. Oh, sorry. Press the key. No, I don't know if I pressed the key in there or. No, I can't. It's true. I've lost my. Well, I'll do it again. Well, I'll do it again. If I don't, the console, though invisible, still has the keyboard focus. So when I press the key now, it will go to the console, and there it is. See? Now that was slow, and the reason that was slow is because the way I only implemented, plot pixel actually, and set the palette values. Okay, so when he draws the PCX file, right, each one of these, each call here, plot pixel and so on, are going through the marshaller, are going through basically Windows send message for each single pixel. Of course, it'd be better to just take this whole procedure and bundle that in one message and have that occur in the other thread. Then it would be instant. But I don't care about the speed. I just care about the fact that it works. Here you see that he is using 6-bit values for the red, green, and blue palette entries. And when I eventually set them back, I'm multiplying by 4 again to turn them back into RGB values. So I press the key, goes through, and that's a PCX file being drawn. And it's essentially doing what happens in DOS. The window itself, as I said, not generalized. I just go through, depending on the message I get. If it's thought pixel, there's no real need to call a function. I can do the function here, but I do set pixel it's the arguments that are the important bit of the message is the fact that it contains a certain number of arguments, and by the type of message, type of object, I can tell what the arguments are for. In this case, it's 3 arguments: x, y, and then palette index, and I retrieve the palette color from my palette. Here's my palette. Color table, 256 colors. And now there's this lock buffer thing to keep the thing from invalidating rect every time you draw a pixel or something. You'll notice with these things, like here where I'm clicking, printing out hello world, that all these things are going into these memory and memory device context, right? Now, memory device context, right, contains whatever you put in there just remains, right? There's no memory associated with drawing the actual window data. WM Paint, I can find it. It's just that, right? Now, in general, you can do that with any sort of graphics library. If you wanted to draw, if I want to draw a box on that little window, I draw a box. I don't have to remember that I drew the box. It's just as if this is a piece of video memory that I can draw. I can also zero it all out and draw some more, or do whatever I want. Now there's no way again for me to get out of this because I can't select. I wonder, maybe with the spy I should bring the keyboard focus back to its console. This is the console, I think. Oh, parent Windows. Does he have a parent? No. Previous. Mode 13H. Parent. I want to find the hidden 320 by 200. That's this one. Something 0 by 0. No, that's certainly not it. Where is the console gone? It's got to be here. They're hidden somewhere. What's this one? PC view console. That looks like it. Now, can I give it the keyboard focus? Bring to front or something. Yeah, that's it. PC view exe. Give focus. I don't know what that does. Window. Yeah, there's no way to. There's no way for me to send a key in there. Just have to kill it. I could, I made it. The only reason I made it disappear was to make it kind of look authentic, right? Now what I've got to do now is allow this guy to accept this window to accept the keyboard message, right? And let's see, what could we give it? Escape, maybe, right? Or any key to do what I want to pass down to here, right? Okay, so that'll kill the window. So let's add a keyboard handler here. car, any key, close, right? That should do it. So the other one will disappear, but the other one will take over the job of get. Okay, so, not this sketch. Yeah, okay. So what I need here is to check if the if it's currently visible. How can I check that? Visible. So if we're visible, then we'll post a close message. Oh no. There's also this when it's saying press any key to view the thing. Oh wait a minute, but that's handled here, see? Show PCX. What I want to do is pass the characters down to the console window. I wonder if I can do that. It's still, I guess we've still handled it. Wonder what that'll do. So let the console continue, like W parent L parent. So we'll send at least WM cars, which should get redirected back to the parent, to the console. So now I've selected this. Is it going to work? It did work. So because that code to draw came from the sketch terminating. So now I should be able to click on this to kill itself. But there's my console back. I should bring it to the front, I guess. Where are the other tires? Maybe I want to act it. Restore, maybe. See if that works. So this is sort of like what would happen. You click that and now your screen changed to this size. Then you press a key, shows the picture. And it didn't bring it to the top. I should try set. This never works. But you never know. Maybe this, for the first time in history, it'll work. It worked! Oh dear. Now what would be really cool, like I know how to get rid of this border and stuff. I can't get rid of the scroll bar. If only I could make this bigger, I really wish I could somehow just hide that window and make a great big black window and just send keys into that. I can hide it, but I can't read the text. Maybe I can read, if I could read the text coming out into that hidden window and then just stretch split it onto the screen, I could have full screen command line. The thing that's totally impossible. This thing could be full screen if I wanted. Did you notice that little pause there? Because I invalidated direct too early. When I click, every time I click there, I print out hello world and invalidate the rect when I'm not allowed. It's supposed to be locked. When if I click WM, yeah, see, I'm not checking if buffer locked. Anyway, but that's fine. So PCX first. I assume BMP will work, I don't trust a lot of this code. His structures are, look at his structures. Oh, I did that. See, previously he had for this PCX. I mean, I didn't even bother to try it as it was. There was no way it was going to work. He had int here, 32 bits. This is written for DOS, so I had to change everything to shorts. Eat my shorts. Anyway, so that works. Now there are two threads actually going on in this series at the moment. One thing I never got to finish, which was I was talking about serialized. And why is this called 24? Oh, it's not called 24. Temp directory. No, I don't need that. I do it all in memory now. The other thing was the serialized, which I only got through half of the story with, which was one, making a place in memory, or a place somewhere in the universe where one could read and write information, which is how I'm able to remember where this thing is. But that's still not the end of the story. You see, I called that thing serial as a kind of a hint, but it's not doing the serialized thing. See, the serialized thing is where you have an abstract base class from which things which you want to be saved or restored will derive, and they would have to implement one function, not 10 or whatever. And it's either load from resource or save to resource in whatever format they choose, in some kind of binary format. That's why it's called serial. The idea of the process is called serialization. So, for instance, if I made a special edit box which implemented serialize, and I wanted to save it, I would just say box.serialize save. And when I would restore it, I'd say .load. Of course, I gotta remember when I gotta retrieve the object from which I need to load things, and for which I did save things. And that's how all this sort of save game stuff works in my old code. I don't know if I can show you a simple example. Source to space taxi. Space taxi game. Kind of a serialized thing. Let's see now. Here, see? Serialize from some object loading or saving. If loading, blah, blah, blah. If saving, blah, blah, blah. Now everything, all sorts of objects in this project. Let's look at save game. Serialize this, serialize that, right? And it's going to go through, first it's going to load a bunch of global variables. Then it's going to go through this file, and the file is going to tell it what to load up. Global variables and sprites, okay? Now, all these things are supposed to work. Now, there might not be anything in these lists, but if there isn't, it'll still return true. Didn't find anything. That's a valid condition. An invalid condition would be if it tried to load something and it expects to find a particular structure of data and doesn't find that structure, then it fails. This is a weird case where I'm actually saving because I hadn't been told by the authorities yet that you can't save and load pointers. Of course you can save and load pointers, you just have to figure out a way to translate pointer values from one session to the next. So if this guy if one object had a pointer to another object at the time of save, right? And when you load back, there's a mapping. Everything saves off what its pointer value was at the time of save. And so when you load, there's a way to map one pointer value from the last session to the current session, and so you can link everything back up. It's not impossible. Anyway, yeah, so now I'm using a particular, you'll notice, a particular kind of object called a file, right? And that's not a pure virtual thing, this file thing. It's a pretty specific object. Although it does do the internal structure of this file object contains a pure virtual interface. So it doesn't have to be a local file. It could be on the internet. It's possible. Anyway, so we might look at that, unless it's too boring a topic. But anyway, I'll continue on this thing though. Get the GIF thing to work, and then try and sort out this multiple images thing. It might be that typically people don't use all those advanced features like multiple interlace scanning and blah blah blah. Right? You don't have to cover every single possibility when you make something. If I wanted to make that horse animation go, it probably would have worked. It probably didn't use local palettes or anything. It was, maybe a single palette and a bunch of frames. One thing I did notice, I don't know if I still have the file. I should still have it. Where did I put it? No, it wouldn't be there. Pictures. Where's the horse? Here. You take this horse here. Open. Open with binary. Now you see this here, these letters. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. No, that's the whole alphabet. See, I thought, oh wait, maybe these ones. No. I thought maybe the animation sequence was spelled out through these letters, but apparently not. Oh well. Okay, see you next time.